and then we're gonna get to crime times. Hi YouTube, Janae Danielle, I think that's her name. Faces don't move like they used to, and it's getting disturbing. So I'm guessing she's gonna be talking about the rise and the continuous rise of plastic surgeries and Botox and fillers and what it's doing to y'all faces. Let's see though. Let's watch.
Here, like eyelids up, like my forehead feels like a cinder block has been sitting on it.
My eye's like twitching and it can't, like it's not opening all the way.
It's my first time crying with Botox.
Oh.
I can't move my face.
Oh, Botox like doesn't let you like emote. It takes away your emotion. Good. I hope it does. I hope it takes my emotions. I have way too much.
Something about the way faces move today feels off. Almost like faces aren't working the way they used to.
I just want to ugly cry. I just got Botox yesterday. I'm trying so hard.
Let me see.
It like hurts.
We're seeing people expressing emotions that usually need...
Oh my god, I was just about to say, I was gonna let her get started with the video first. The first person I think about with Botox is Kim's mama, Chris. Every time I see a picture of Chris, she's like, she's snatched, honey. Like, I'm talking about faces snatched back.
all the muscles in their face to pull off, yet their faces refuse to participate.
This is me trying to laugh with Botox.
The discussion around Botox face is growing, moving quickly across the internet, while people's faces, on the other hand, aren't moving at all. While it's mainly being directed towards the people who literally get paid to show emotions for a living.
Do actors ever think about the fact that they can't do their job if they get Botox? I would just think that if I was an actor, which I'm not, I wouldn't do that.
Emotions are one of the most common things celebrities and us common folk have in common, but it seems like there's a shortage of it overall, with many people expressing joy, straight-faced of course, over the fact that their face can no longer do the very thing our faces are designed to do.
So look how well my Botox kicked in. Ready?
It has to be for pictures, right? Like, I feel like if you get an extreme amount of Botox, it has to be because you want to look a certain way on camera. Because I feel like that it never translates in real life. Just like BBLs. I feel like it never translates. I remember the first time I seen a BBL IRL, it was at a homecoming concert. And this is no shade. This is no shade, okay? But I remember when I was in college and Jada and Ari came on stage. They weren't performing. They just came on stage. And that was my first time seeing BBLs in real life. And I was like, oh, that doesn't look exactly the same as it did in person. And that's no shade. I mean, online. And that's no shade. But it's obviously just for the cameras. Is that what Botox is for?
When my Botox starts kicking in, you can't tell me shit. I'm...
Ooh.
All day. I'm snatched. Not one emotion on my face. Just...
Now, a lot of you are probably thinking, Janae, how dark can this conversation really get? It's just a bunch of people who decided emotions were too much for them. Well, those emotions are one of the major things that keep us real. They're the original blueprint for how we connect without even having to say a word. But now, the new beauty standard is voluntarily erasing them and convincing a lot of people that a moving face is an ugly one. Welcome to the Girl Talk you didn't know you needed. Now, I'm not saying you have to subscribe, okay? You're classy. I know you don't just give those away for free, but hopefully at the end of this video, you'll become bestie enough for you to take that next step. I have some exciting news. I am looking to expand my team and hire a researcher. I'm looking for somebody who's big but infections. A universe will realize to hear from you. Go ahead and look in the description for more information. If we look back far enough, we'll realize that wrinkles aren't the only thing trying to be erased from our existence. A universal language that we share with every being in the world is being erased too.
When explorers first began to meet different cultures around the world, they noticed something unusual about the expression of emotion. The face a foreign person made to show happiness, anger, or surprise was exactly the same face people made back in their home country. Even these people, who had never met other cultures, shared the same universal facial expressions for emotion. emotion.
It doesn't matter where you're from, what language you speak, there's a built-in language that can silence talking altogether. And that universal language is our emotions. We communicate with people through them without a single word having to be said.
Even when we can't hear or don't understand what's being said, we can often get the gist of it by simply looking.
True.
Our bodies are constantly communicating. We don't need a PowerPoint presentation. We don't need a stage. We don't need a projector or a screen. We can display what we really feel at any moment, at any time, anywhere we are present.
And I note that because if we start losing that, we lose a lot more than we think, but I'll get into that later. The most important things we say are actually the things we don't mean to show. Let me explain. There's a split-second reaction that happens before your brain even catches it. That is, unless a cosmetic surgeon paralyzes the muscle before it even has time to react, but that reaction may be the only truth we have left.
It's the tiny eyebrow twitch before someone lies. It's the skin bunching around the eyes when a smile is real. It's the forehead wrinkle when someone's trying not to cry. And the wild part is, we use these micro expressions every day without even thinking about it. You can tell when your friend's upset before they've even said a word, or when they're stuck talking to a creepy guy at a party and they want you to save them. We're tuned into these signals constantly in real life, so when we watch a movie, our brains are doing the exact same thing.
Hear me out. When you see a face move naturally, your brain automatically tries to copy and paste. Call it empathy, maybe a reflex. The only ones really exempt from that might be sociopaths, but nevertheless, we crave that connection and raw emotion so much that there's an entire industry built to capture it.
Of course, the most powerful visual conveyor of emotion is the human face. Camera movements and lighting will always be secondary to an actor's performance.
Film and movies in the early days did one thing, and that is let the faces do the talking instead of the mouth. Every twitch, every crease was a line of dialogue that the audience could read, especially in the silent movie era. Their bodies and faces were doing all the work to make sure you felt the tension, the heartbreak, or joy without a single word ever being spoken.
Telling a story, painting a picture. I always saw myself as an artist. Other people take a piece of canvas and oil and watercolors and paint a picture up there that's supposed to interest or move you. And I only had my body, and I had to do the same thing.
And if the face had a story to tell, let's be honest, not all stories are picture perfect. They get ugly, and I'm not talking about being ugly as a person. Their faces would distort, crying looked messy, and real, raw emotion would be shown. In the past, the more a face fell apart, the more the audience felt like they were looking at something worth it to look at.
It is no secret that cinema is my church, and recently I keep finding myself wanting to rewatch older movies because I miss faces doing what faces are supposed to do. Movies made in the early 2000s and before then just hit different because everyone's face looked different. There were different proportions, different teeth, different ways of moving foreheads while crying. So many foreheads without Botox.
But as we come back from our blast to the past, you'll quickly realize that we've traded those messy, honest expressions for faces that stay perfectly still, no matter how high the stakes are.
Hey, Blondie? Water.
After Clint Eastwood walked 70 miles in the desert, his face is completely scarred and burned. We can barely recognise him. But today, there aren't many examples of actors looking scarred like this. It seems like everyone has to look perfect all the time. It's as if somewhere along the way, almost every
but that was clearly effects. Or I mean like cosmetic effects.
Scarred and burned. We can barely recognise him. But today, there aren't many examples of actors looking scarred like this. It seems like everyone has to look perfect all the time. It's as if somewhere along the way, almost every actor has taken the substance and transformed into a kind of picture-perfect version of themselves. Not a single wrinkle, not a hair out of place, and completely smooth skin. The best we'll get is maybe a small smear of dirt or a tiny cut.
You see, today having an expressive face is treated as a technical difficulty. Having a face that moves is considered a problem that needs to be fixed, with some actors even coming forward and saying they had to take a needle to the forehead for the sake of lighting.
I love getting Botox here every 6 months. When I was 24, a director of photography was like, you should really get this Botox because this line is really, it's hard to light you. In my head, I was like, oh, okay, thank you. But in my head, I was like, I feel like that wasn't super helpful.
I know everyone
Literally
is
so
discussing how
unnecessary.
so many actors can't move their faces anymore, but before we point the full finger at them, we have to look at the people behind the camera calling the shots, or the needles, we could say. Because it's one thing to be insecure or want to switch it up. We see celebrities changing their natural face every day, but it's another thing to be told that your natural eyebrow movement is literally ruining the shot.
The casting directors for 90210 are some of the reasons why I ended up getting Botox. They told me that for Disney, my facial expression was great, but for a more dramatic type of role, that I needed to learn how to control my eyebrows, because this one has a mind of its own. If you can't control your facial features, then we're not going to give it to you. And they're like, maybe try some Botox.
Your face doing what it's supposed to do is called out as a problem, and it's gotten so expected that people are now treating a moving forehead like some kind
Especially because as y'all age, y'all starting to look crazier. I ain't gonna lie. I gotta be honest. Maybe we don't catch it or clock it as much with the younger girls. But the older y'all get, the older celebrities, I'm looking at y'all, I'm like, oh God.
Bold,
no
risky
shade.
sacrifice.
I read in Vanity Fair, no makeup and no Botox. I got Botox for this festival to talk to people like you.
I'm due for my next.
So it's a sacrifice, girl.
I know. No, it's funny. I'm an actor, and that's my job, and that's what I love to do. So it's like I don't necessarily need all that in my life. I like it.
I can't imagine somebody telling me that my moving face is me taking one for the team.
Yeah,
Not to
you would
mention,
do
why would you tell an actor that whose job is to literally move their face?
I'm like very anti-Botox. People can do whatever the hell they want, but for myself, because you know, a lot of my career relies on these facial expressions. So I can't stop freezing my face. It needs to move.
But that job description isn't as common or followed by as many actors anymore, because we're seeing more and more of them today who can't even force an expression if they wanted to.
So last week, I went to the cinema to watch the new movie Freakier Friday, and I have not been able to stop thinking about it since. Not because it was a great movie, because it wasn't, but because of how ridiculous Lindsay Lohan's acting was. Her face is so pumped with Botox that her crying scenes looked more like she was severely constipated.
No, that's bad.
And even though acting is meant to act out emotions, we're missing a lot of that on the big screen. And I have to say it, it's kind of harsh, but it's getting hard to find a real raw performance that's not being held back by a needle.
I was actually super surprised that they let Millie get Botox like this while she was filming Stranger Things. She looks amazing, by the way, but she's not able to make much expression. Like, this was my recording. This is a great example of the differences between these two actors' expressions. Look at her forehead and the movement compared to Millie's when she's crying.
I didn't even pee.
Aiden called. Oh, he did? You had phone sex. Oh, you had phone sex? For a casual lunch. That is so romantic. Yeah. So romantic.
The brain is doing a double take because remember, we're literally hardwired to read faces as our first language, no matter the language. Well, when the face stops moving, the brain stops believing. How are we supposed to be immersed in the story when the actor doesn't even look like they're a part of that story?
Movies today are so unserious because it's like, I thought this woman was homeless. Why does she have Botox and filler?
I am not against plastic surgery, but am I so evil for not wanting to watch a TV show where the main characters can't express themselves because these are their eyes and their eyebrows? Wow, did that really happen? I don't want to watch it.
It seems like faces aren't reading the room. There's lip fillers in medieval movies, veneers in the Victorian era.
Who has the worst case of iPhone face in a historical drama? Last time I said Lily Rose Depp in The King, and I still don't think she looks like a 15th century woman. She looks like a modern woman in a costume. But Margot Robbie in the upcoming Wuthering Heights film,
with the
she's
high
gorgeous,
arch eyebrow.
This is very 2026.
But if you find it hard to immerse in fictional stories, well, real life is slowly following behind it, because imagine trying to use your face to say one thing, but that universal language falls flat.
No, guys, I'm absolutely dead. I was just driving and someone pulled out, so I frowned, because obviously it was like, what are you doing? And he smiled at me and blew me a kiss, and I thought, I've literally just frowned at you. I've given you the dirtiest look that I possibly can, but then I realised the Botox has obviously kicked in. He wouldn't even know if I'm frowning. No one would know if I'm frowning. This is me frowning.
Let me see frown. You're not. You're lying. You're lying. You didn't try to frown.
Wouldn't even know if I'm frowning. No one would know if I'm frowning. This is me frowning. That doesn't look angry, does it?
Today, normal, everyday people without the A-list status are facing the same disconnect these actors and celebrities are, and that is their faces aren't moving. We see this play out in real life where people are literally trying to communicate with just their face, you know, the thing we can naturally do, but that Botox has other plans. Most likely, these people got inspired by the sharp, structured faces of most of the rich, and they wanted that. But what happens when you finally get that, but you can't even celebrate it?
This is just me having a meltdown. I get married tomorrow, and the smile, everybody keeps walking by and looking at me like I'm weird. But look! That's me. I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying.
Well, what do you look like without
people
it?
Getting Botox, and while a lot of them are happy with their results, a lot of people are realizing their faces aren't working like they used to.
It's my first time crying with Botox. I can't move my face.
I got too much Botox.
But that's what you wanted.
And I need help. I messed up. I cannot smile anymore.
I've already been lacking emotions, but my Botox just sent me over the edge. Looks great. Love the look. But the feeling, I can't smile. So if we make eye contact, I promise I'm not a I just...
And while researching...
I don't know, like, you just trying to tell us you got Botox? Are you trying to just flex the face? I'm confused because, like, duh. If you pump, and you're like, what? You get hella Botox in your forehead. What? My forehead doesn't crinkle no more. Yeah. Isn't that what you wanted to do? Like, why are we acting confused? You're acting like it's something that went wrong. That's exactly what you went there for.
I discovered in many comment sections of women discussing their faces not syncing up with their limbic system. There are hundreds of other women voicing how their results went sideways. Literally.
I've been doing Botox for about 1.5 years now, and I always get it because whenever you frown, you'll get like little dimples around here. But this time, what is it? What is it? Look how uneven that is. I've never had this happen.
Some of the comments read, month 4, my smile is still crooked. My smile is the same as yours. I'm starting to panic and currently going through the same thing.
You know what's so crazy is that you don't even realize like how much people do to themselves. And like y'all or people inspire after it and they're like buy these products, not even like hoping to achieve the same results, or you know what I'm saying, and you don't even know, like even your most like natural influencers or whatever, they're getting their monthly shots, or they're, you know what I'm saying, they're getting the lips plumped, or they're getting that nose done, and you're like, oh, but look at this product that they're being paid to sell you. I'm trying to tell you it works and wonders, and you're like, well, why can't I achieve this look? Like, why does everybody look so much better? Why do these people like on Instagram not look like me? Like, she's not using a filter. It's because they're all fucking syringed up. They're all syringed up. You're chasing after people who are paying to look like this. And that's your prerogative, but you're chasing after people who are paying to look like this. It's fake. It's literally fake. And I'm not talking about I don't know, like, because they, no, they're literally changing their facial structures, they're reconstructing everything. And you're like, why am I not looking at these young girls are chasing it, buying whatever products they can get just to look like these people, and those people don't even look like those people. They don't look like this. They paid to look like this. This is the new them.
In tears.
So I'm not gonna lie, this video is making me so upset to put together. I appreciate everyone telling me that my mouth will be back to normal before I know it, but today is exactly 4 months since an injector hit my DLI instead of the DAO, and it caused me to have the most severe crooked smile. 4 months later, I am still very crooked. Not as bad as week 1 through 8, but I'm really getting nervous that this is just my mouth now. If any injectors out there wanna hop in and duet or stitch this and reassure me that I'm not stuck like this forever, I would appreciate it.
It's so hard to watch these videos because it almost feels like these women are losing themselves. You see how this girl's smile used to literally light up her face, but now there's this disconnect.
Oh my
and the more I
gosh.
think about it, and the more I look at that video, I'm wondering, what was the point of the Botox? Literally, am I tripping? You'd think seeing these faces not being able to move would be enough to make people run far away from it. Second guess all of it.
Here's your unsolicited eye update.
If they face aren't moving, my face ain't gonna move. If this ain't, if theirs not, it's follow the leader. That's how so many of us end up in the positions that we end up in as societies and everything, because it's just follow the leader. What? I want to blend in. That's what people want. They want to blend in. Even if they have to look like this for the rest of their life, they want to blend in. It's sad because it's all for nothing. No one really likes plastic surgery. Most men aren't attracted to that. Most of the time, they look better before the surgery. I personally believe they look better before the surgery as well. But like, at what risk? I guess I don't know.
It's still closed, but at least I'm getting accommodations on my.
But then it's like something you're forever having to keep up with. Like you're forever having to keep this face that you paid for. Like. You're not just naturally loving you and growing into like yours and however, you know, your smile lines or, you know what I'm saying? You're not, you're just like, oh no, there it goes again. There it goes again. You're just constantly injecting yourself and changing yourself, I guess.
Works so I can work from home.
It's up to you.
Due to impaired vision.
But in the most sick and twisted way, this has become the new beauty standard.
I know you know that feeling when you go and get Botox and then you kind of forget that you got Botox and then a couple days later you're like trying to make a facial expression or whatever and then you feel your face is like frozen. That's me right now and I'm pretty happy.
I'm on my way home and I really need some Botox because I have wrinkles and I can frown. So
this time we went all out. Homegirl said, no, let's freeze your face. And I said, okay, let's do it. My face is frozen and I love it. I love it.
Here's why.
I don't even like shit that's too permanent. Like, I still haven't gotten a tattoo because I'm like, I don't know what I want and it's a little too permanent for me, okay? It's a little too permanent for me and I'm very indecisive. I like, you know, I might not like it the next day. So I'm like, I don't know about that. I'm a little too indecisive. Y'all be making really permanent things. I like removable things. Like, you know what I'm saying? If we can remove it, I got nails on. Oh, you wearing fake nails? All I have to do is, you know, pop these off with the fucking acetone. Like, they're gone in fucking 5 minutes if I wanted to. Well, girl, I could pop it off. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing permanent. Like, I still know what you know what I'm saying? It's so unnatural. You putting filler inside of your face and your skin like that. It can't be good. It can't be. It really can't.
I find the want to have a frozen face extremely uncomfortable. This is different than people wanting to look younger or look super sculpted. This is people literally opting out of their natural human emotions. Yeah. The human experience, we could call it.
So if you're thinking about getting Botox, let me just de-influence you for a second. Today, I had a really hard day. I needed to cry. And I would start to cry, but I couldn't make the sorrow face I needed to make to cry. And I felt like I was like stuck in my body, unable to move the way I need to. And that freaked me out. So then I started getting scared. If you like feeling stuck in your body, unable to emote fully, then do it.
If you ask me, opting out of your expressions that fuel emotion
That's crazy.
Doesn't sound like it'll play out right in the long run. But when we put the pieces together and everyone is being told wrinkles bad.
You're not gonna catch me with those lines around my lips.
I don't think this is cute because it never matches nothing else. Like, you look like this in the face just to look like this in the body, and there's no shade. The body clearly gives, I've lived a life, which is no problem. And then the face gives straight filter. You know what I'm saying? That's not cute. I see older women who have the wrinkles and the grays and, you know, the naturalness coming in. I'm like, oh, my future is bright. You know what I'm saying? Like, another phase I get to go through. This is not what I want to go through. Like, ew.
I got on my straw like this.
They're now going after that look where wrinkles aren't created at all. But those are the positive wrinkles that let all of us know, hello, there's a real person up there and not a robot.
I got Botox for the first time in my life, and I cannot move my face. Where are the wrinkles? They're gone. I had like the worst wrinkles around my eyes when I would smile. They're gone. God bless.
Really are, like, we are really our most, like nobody's nitpicking you as much as you're nitpicking yourself. And like, I know that's hard to believe because, you know, even I have to, you know, reassure myself that sometimes. But nobody was looking at them wrinkles, girl. Nobody was like, damn! Like, no, nobody probably like even thought seconds. And obviously you should love yourself and do whatever you want to make yourself feel better and more confident. But I also think a lot of the time is because if you knew 1000% that nobody gave a fuck, you definitely wouldn't have done it. You know what I'm saying? You definitely wouldn't have done it.
Maybe that's the goal. Because the thing about robots, they don't feel empathy. And studies show that when you freeze the face, you're also blocking that emotion and also dulling the feeling that should come with it.
Botox kills the center for empathy in your brain.
We are neurologically hardwired to check in with faces. The amount of muscle control, neurological control that's happening in my face right now, because I haven't paralyzed it in any way, shape, or form, is conveying tremendous information to you about how I feel, about am I safe? Is she here to help me? Is she here to serve me? Is she here to hurt me? If you cannot pick up those signals from my face, you are in danger.
And in the world we live in today, people don't care about that. Feelings, empathy, who needs that? Pointing out that you can potentially lose empathy, that's not a warning to a lot of people, and they'll trade that human connection for some filler any day.
Botox kills the center for empathy in your brain.
Just go for the empathy part.
Of course, it's our best.
And it's literally just to keep up also, like, it's to keep up with somebody. If it's not to keep up with men, because I know, you know, it's not everything's not for a man. I understand that, but it's to keep up with something. Like, oh, to keep up the image for the guys, to keep up the image for the Instagram baddies, to keep up the image as the celebrities. You know what I'm saying? Because you sure don't give a damn what Susie at the grocery store look like. You know what I'm saying? If Susie at the grocery store got Botox, you're not going to be like, oh, I need to go get me some Botox. You know what I'm saying? You're doing it because you know the girlies online are doing it. You're doing it because you know, like, some girlies get this attention. You're doing it because, you know what I'm saying? Like, deep down. And you can't say it's not a 100% fact. Like, maybe that's not 100% the reason. But you a damn lot if you saying that's not 1% of the reason. Like,
I want to get the Botox because I want people to not know immediately what I'm thinking. Because I just emote so immediately. And I want to be more of a mysterious you know?
They'll also try to minimize their own joy just to keep from looking too real. I came across a trend that points this out perfectly. It's women practicing their wedding smiles, trying to stay soft, subtle, and dainty. But then the actual wedding day happens and real life takes over, real raw emotions take over, and that sweet, petite smile you thought you were gonna have, yeah, it didn't stand a chance.
I feel like that ties into the
I think this is the most joyous thing. I would rather see a picture like this than somebody like, you know what I'm saying? Because like, even if it's not your most flattering face, it's something nice to look back at. Especially with, I mean, y'all are purposely sharing them on social media. You don't have to. But especially with your loved ones that you created the moments with. Like, look how I was looking. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
takes over, real raw emotions take over, and that sweet petite smile you thought you were gonna have, yeah, it didn't stand a chance.
I feel like that ties into the trend that's on TikTok where people are like, oh, me practicing my soft face and my soft smiles for my wedding and for my engagement, and then they show their wedding and engagement pictures and they're like sobbing or ugly crying, or you know, their face, like their smile is just so big it makes their whole face scrunch up. Because emotion isn't inherently this stagnant picture of beauty that a lot of people have started to believe it is. Emotion, being human, is not supposed to be this cut and dry, stunningly beautiful experience. Emotion is ugly.
Now, these women may not be embarrassed by these photos, at least they shouldn't be, seeing how happy
and we're not camera made. Like, humans weren't made for cameras. I just want to let y'all know, I know it's been so long. I want everybody to remember it. Cameras is a picture, like, look right here, I pause right here. The camera video frame has stopped right here. This isn't what she looks like. You know what I'm saying? We all want to get something for a camera, Camera ain't the whole damn life. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got, you know what I'm saying? Camera ain't real life.
On their big day literally gives me the biggest boost of serotonin and also quite a chuckle. But let's be honest, okay? We've been conditioned to look at these expressive faces and see something that's either too much or needs to be fixed or made fun of.
What do you wish you could erase from the internet?
There are memes that haunt me, but I feel like they also keep me humble.
What are you doing in said memes?
I don't want to talk about
You're like a good crier.
That's it.
Kerry Washington
I love that Kerry
needs
Washington
to come center
meme.
stage because she is one of the most expressive actors in Hollywood, and she faces massive criticism, low-key bullying masked as jokes, because her face does so much.
Think of Kerry Washington. She is the perfect example of feminine woman. She has manners, she's always smiling, maybe too much.
While I think it may be more so admiration that her acting is so good, she's called out for having the meanest stank face, being one of the best ugly
Not Mordecai.
criers in the game. But this just proves to me that people see not her face, but a moving face as ugly.
If you think this
looks crazy, then you are surrounded by Botox. Claire Danes acting in the #1 show on Netflix, giving us a full range of expression, and TikTok is going nuts. She's being accused of using a Snapchat filter. On the other end of the spectrum, we have actresses that are all about using aesthetic treatments. Anne Hathaway, she's crying, she's looking beautiful, not a wrinkle in sight.
Now, they're not coming forward and saying ill. Well, not all of them, at least, but the comment sections are enough. It's so insane to me that we've been tricked into thinking that our face doing its job is somehow wrong. At the end of the day, those creases, scrunched up, twisted up faces are one of the only things stopping us from being numb, unemotional robots. And it's also helping us stay connected to the human species.
Your face?
But y'all not talking about no other criers. Like, let's be for real. Y'all like, Carrie, I hate that ugly ass cry, but y'all keep talking about her though. She keeps getting more roles. She keeps, you know what I'm saying? It keeps getting booked. You know why? Because it's real. It gets y'all attention. Everybody being like this and crying, nobody's remembering that. But you know what you do remember? Kerry Washington's cry. I bet you remember that though. Y'all talking about I hate it, but you remember it.
How we communicate with people, your eyes, your forehead, all these micro expressions that you have in your face is how we regulate each other and how we connect to one another. Kids feel this the most, especially little babies. Babies are constantly reading faces, your face, to decide if they're safe. We are already living in a time where people feel more anxious, more disconnected. They're having a harder time feeling empathy. And at the same time, we've normalized freezing and paralyzing the very thing that creates connection. And for that reason, I just can't believe how normalized Botox is in our society.
Now, obviously, you can do whatever makes you feel good, but don't let people make you feel like your creases are bad.
Let me let her finish.
It sounds weirder said out loud than in my head, but you know what I mean. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, don't. You could do what you want, but think, is this really what I want? Or is this what I want because everybody else is doing it? Is this what I want because people are saying this is what we should do? Is this what I want because there's an influence somewhere else? Or is this what I really want? You know what I'm saying? If Kim K or the Kardashian family, I think they're like known for Botox at this point. If they weren't the pinnacle of image and like their whole net worth wasn't off of image and face and, you know what I'm saying, like being pictured, do you think that they would be fucking getting all this shit done and surgery and Botox? And no, they would just be living a regular life. But that's their job, right? And that's the path that they went down, so let them go down it. But stop following after these people. Stop following after these people, bro. Like, does the plastic melt? I don't know, but I know we're going to find out in about 10, 15 years. I know we're going to find out in about 10, 15 years, okay, when the stories start coming out. Just leave yourselves alone. Love, and if you want to do some changes, try some natural changes first. And then if it really ain't working and you want to find out, okay, rock on your... Hello. W video.